So today I wanted to talk about IP security, specifically how to block a country from hitting your firewall or your desktop. These commands will work with any Linux-based system, Unix-based system. I've used them on different firewalls like smooth walls, Cisco boxes. Once you learn the command, you can apply it to pretty much anything running Linux or Unix system, with the fairly new kernel. Because it requires IP tables to be installed on the machine, and most firewalls have that already. In fact, I can't think of any firewall that doesn't have it loaded on there, except for a Windows firewall, for instance. So the great thing about this is you can lock down your firewall. You basically can say, well, our company doesn't deal with entities or customers in Hong Kong, so we're just going to blacklist all of Hong Kong, and thereby reducing the number of hackers that can touch your network. So I'm going to go to this website, blacklist.linuxadmin.org, and in here it's great because they've already gone through the hassle of collecting the zone files for all the different countries. So I'm going to pick Hong Kong, and you'll notice that it gives you port numbers that you can assign, but what I'm going to do is show you how to just blacklist all of the traffic. So it's giving TCP/IP as a protocol. And you notice it dumps this as a script file. This is the actual commands that you need to type in order to complete this blocking of this ranges. So right here, there's a couple things I'm going to change off the bat, but first I'm going to copy it into a text file. And I'm just going to create a new text file here, and I'm going to go to block. Okay, and then I'm going to open it up and paste in the information, and you'll notice up at the top it's grabbing the input, it's inputting a new rule. It's a protocol is TCP/IP, the source is this, and the port is that, and it's going to reject it. So the two things I want to change is the port and the reject. The port because I want to just take that out so it'll block all traffic, and the reject because what I want to do is instead of rejecting the packet, a rejection means that my computer gets the request from this network. It then looks up the rule and says, no, I'm not talking to this network, so I'm going to reject it. It then sends back a rejection notice to that network. So that network then sees, okay, there is something there, but it's rejecting me. And from a hacker standpoint, if I see that, I can try something else. And I don't want to give the hackers that second chance. I don't want them to see any data coming back. That way they'll think that there's nothing there. So what I want to do is drop the traffic silently. I don't want to reject it and send back a packet. So there's a couple things I'm going to change. So what you can do is just highlight this, copy it, go to replace, and it already put it in there, and I'm going to replace it with empty, and that just removes everything in there. Then I want to copy the rejection and do the same thing, replace and replace all. Oh, I want to do drop. No. To do drop, sorry. So now I'm going to replace all. So there we have our drop now. So it's going to accept this information, then it's going to drop the packet if it comes from these networks. And there's quite a few networks. So you could literally go back to this website and do the same thing for like China. And then just copy this and append it to the end of this, and then do a complete replace once you got all the countries in this one script. And once you have this script set up, you just save it, and you could run these commands, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it executable. Open up my window, terminal window, go to my desktop. You obviously have to run this as an admin, and then you're done. So now it added those rules in. So now if I run, now it's going to give a list of all the stuff that it's going to drop, all the different rules that are already in the IP table. And you'll notice that there goes some of the networks. Now I do want to let you know that the way that it's set up right now is when I restart, the IP table bucket where it has this policy is going to erase. So you'd have to rerun this script again, or you can put this script in your startup. And depending on what distro you have, it's going to be somewhere else. But you can put it in your networking file. Just copy this at the end of this, so that way when it does restart, it'll restart with this service, with this script file. So you can put this like in the etc directory and then point it to here, and that way whenever you restart your computer, when it restarts the network interfaces, it'll run this script and it'll reapply the rules onto your box. So anyways, that's a nice way of blocking a whole country from touching your machines, and I hope you enjoyed it.